What's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing very well. Welcome back to another SuperMayne video. If I can get my words out properly. In this video, I'm going to show you my Moza R21 settings. I've tweaked these since the last video, which I have since deleted because I told everybody wrong. Well, I didn't tell everybody wrong. It was the settings I was using at the time. They felt good. But since then, I've been playing about with them a bit more, understand them a bit more. So I thought I'd show you the settings that I'm using for my wheel, so you guys could have them in your wheelbase. This will probably work with the R5, the R9, the R12, the R16 as well. All you might want to do is change this game force feedback intensity, depending on your wheelbase, probably in the R5, 9 and 12, probably to 100%, because bearing in mind the R21 has about 21 Newton meters of torque. Okay, so on the first screen, I am running the game force feedback at about 80%. 100 it's just way overpowering. That's what I had it on before. It's too much, it's overpowering, it doesn't feel natural. It gives you a really robotic feel. Going into the second menu in the basic settings, so again, steering angle set at 900. I always leave this at 900, and I change it in game depending on what game I'm playing. I don't change it in the Moza settings. Road sensitivity I leave at 10, so it gives you all the feeling through the wheel. And you don't want to change that down any lower because you do lose a bit of that feeling of the road. Again, game force feedback intensity is the same here. It's 80%. Leave it 80%. Maximum wheel speed. That has, since I had it about 100%, I think before, it felt crazy lively. Probably great for drifting, but in GT racing, turn it down to 30%. Wheel spring strength 0. You don't want the wheel springing back, especially in GT racing, Formula 1, all them sort of things. Wheel dampering, I've actually put this up to about 35% now. Gives you a really good feeling of you're connected to something in the car. You can feel the wheels sliding as well. Well worth having it on. This obviously works in all sort of together with some of the settings on the next page in the advanced settings: natural inertia, wheel friction, speed dampening. Again, professional force feedback, it's 80%. You can change it again, but it changes all. I wouldn't go any higher with the R21. Maximum torque 100%, no different to any other wheel. This setting changes all the time on every time you restart your PC, every time you restart your wheel. This is usually at 200. Just seems to work better than I've read a bit about on a lot of forums, and 200 is a good work if you've got the FSR wheel. Is a good place to be. Natural inertia, that's 150%. Natural inertia makes the wheel feel like it's connected to wheels on the ground. The higher you put that, obviously the bit heavier the wheel gets. Does work really well. I actually had it running at about 300% a little while ago. I've dulled it down a little bit and changed a few other settings to give me a similar feeling, but make the wheel a little bit more natural feeling. Wheel friction 15%. That's, I think, as high as you want to go. The higher you start getting, it feels like the wheel gets slower and it feels harder to turn. You don't want to go any further with that. Speed dampening 65%. I actually had this as 0 before. Now I've changed it to sort of make a bit of a difference with the natural inertia, wheel friction. They all work hand in hand, these. That gives you the feeling of when you get a bit faster, the wheel comes a little bit heavier, but on 80% with the professional force feedback, it doesn't feel so bad. So I'd give it a go. That's where I found a sweet spot at the minute. It's working really well for me. And then the start of the speed dampening is just over 90 kilometers an hour. So when you're going quite slow, it doesn't really kick in until 90 kilometers an hour. Works quite nicely. Force feedback equalizer. I used to have all this at 100%. I actually read up on a couple of pages and went through and changed a lot of this. So body bumps is still at 100% as normal. Curbs, I've upped that to 130%. That gives you that little bit more feeling when you're on a curb, a bit more vibration through the wheel. The ABS is at 160%. That's 25 hertz. That, when you brake in, you sort of feel a bit of juddering through the wheel, as you would do in real life if you're braking really hard and the ABS kicks in. The grass is at 150%. That gives you a little bit of a change in the feel of the wheel, and it just gives you the feeling, and you can feel it where you are on the track. And then I left sound effects at about 120%. So obviously between there you've got 240 mile an hour curve effects. That's sort of, you don't get an option to change that. That sort of equalizes between the two of the last ones. Base force feedback curve, left it as linear. Don't want to change it any other way. You can obviously change it for these on the side. In the sort of racing I'm doing, don't want to change that. And miscellaneous base indicator is on. Soft limit stiffness is at 10. I've just left it there. I still can't work out what this does. I've played about with it. I can't really feel a difference. And the strength of the force feedback felt when the steering is turned to limit, it's on full at the minute. And then soft limit gain force feedback strength, I've turned it off. Again, I've played about with these switches. I can't really tell any difference. Temperature control is on conservative. I haven't needed to turn it down. I've heard a lot of people saying that you have to turn it to radical on other wheelbases that have issues with it. So that is my settings for my wheelbase. I have actually got the pedals as well. The clutch is set as normal. Don't really use the clutch in any games I play. It's all done via the gear, just the paddles. Brake, I've got the hard rubber and I've got the hard spring in, and at a minute I've had to zero it because I get a bit of see a bit of brake bleed over when it's not on, so I've had to bring this out a little bit to sort of stop the brake from coming on when I'm racing. And this is set so I can push it down, and then it's at 50%, so I can control the braking a bit more. And then the throttle's still linear. I'm not changed anything on that. Pretty straightforward. So that is it, guys. Pretty straightforward, nice quick video. If you've watched my other video, I apologise. It was a bit rubbish. It weren't very good. They weren't very good settings. And if I broke anyone's wrists, I do apologise, because that was what I was told I should run it at, and I did it for a while and then realised it was not very good. These are my settings. Anyway, if you like these sort of videos, let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.